Hello.
Hello, this is Alex from Miami Estates. How are you doing today?
Doing great. How about you?
I'm doing great as well. I'm actually from the sales team, and we're required to call leads 1 to 3 minutes after they opt in our Facebook ad.
Okay.
Well, I just wanted to ask you if you would like to visit our property.
Yeah, sure. That would be great.
All right, great. Let me send you an email then.
Okay, great. Well, thank you very
Great.
much.
I wish you a
I built an AI to catch all your Facebook leads as soon as they come in. We know how important it is to contact the leads as soon as possible because if you just wait a little bit, they are gone. It's actually well known among sales teams and there is research that shows the same thing. Now in this video, I will show you how you can easily build an AI voice bot that will call every single Facebook lead that opts in a Facebook ad using a no-code solution. I built it for a real estate Facebook campaign so that in case a lead wants to book a visit, an email will be sent to him with a Calendly link inside of it. For this solution, I used Blend AI and Make.com. I will first help you build it yourself by showing you an easy to follow step-by-step tutorial, and then I will show you a demo of that. But first, if you're new to this channel, I'm Smail Alaoui, an AI engineer and entrepreneur. 7 years ago, I started building complex AI systems and I even published scientific papers during my Master of Science in AI. A few months ago, I started NeuraFirst, an AI agency where we help businesses integrate AI into their processes. So before we get started with the tutorial, I need to explain to you how it works. Basically, you have here the form that will be filled and clicked by a lead, which will trigger a webhook. Then that webhook will trigger the call in Blend AI. During this call, the AI might want to send an email. If it's the case, there will be another webhook that will get triggered and send an email with the right data. So to summarize, you need 2 webhooks to make the scenario work. So let's start with the tutorial. So the first thing that we want to do is to create a tool that will be used by Blend AI agents during the call. And this tool will call an API endpoint, which is basically a Make.com webhook. Which means before creating the tool, we need to start with the Make.com scenario in order to know what is the URL of this webhook. So here let's go ahead and select webhooks. And then here, custom webhook. Click on add. Name it whatever you want and then click on save. Then what you want to do is to copy this address and then after you download my code and then you open it in either VS Code or any text editor, you should paste the Make.com webhook URL here. Of course, make sure to have your Blend AI API key here, otherwise it will not work. Then the next thing that you want to do is to open that file in your web browser. You will end up with this screen that you can see here, and then you want to click on that button, Create Tool, to create your Blend AI tool. After that is done, this tool ID should appear here. So you should just save it somewhere because it will be useful later on. Then for now, for this scenario, you can keep it as it is because we'll come back to it later on. Now we'll create our second scenario, which is the one responsible for making the actual call via Blend AI API. So as you've probably guessed this already, this one also starts with the webhook. As usual, you will click on add, then here you name it whatever you want, and then you click on save, and then here you copy the address, and then you will open the second HTML file, which is called call Facebook lead. And here in this line, you will paste the webhook URL. Then you will open that file in your browser and you will place yourself as a lead. So you will just, write your name, the phone where you want to receive the call, and your email. So now at this stage, it is not important if the phone and the email are not correct because what we want is just for a Make.com webhook to know that the data it is supposed to receive is a name with some information, a phone, and an email. So now you can click on this button, call the lead now. Okay, done. Now you see that here, of course, the data structure has been successfully determined. Then you click on OK. The next step here is to create a JSON, because this JSON will serve as the body of our request for Blend AI API. So here you click on Create JSON. Here you should click on Add. So I called it Tutorial Blend AI Facebook Lead Call. It doesn't matter. And here you should click on Add Item. So in order to make a call with Blend AI, for this particular scenario, there are 3 parameters that are required and 2 parameters that are optional. So the first parameter that is required is the task, which is basically the LLM prompt. It is of type text, and here we should check required. And then let's add another item. So the second item which is required is the phone number. It is of type text, and we check here as well required. The third item which is required is the tools, because we need to make sure that Blend AI is aware that it is supposed to use a tool, right, during the conversation. So you should add here item. It is called tools. However, here it is not of type text. It is of type array here because you can use multiple tools. So yeah, it makes sense to make it array here. And each tool is defined by its tool ID. And this is the one that you just have seen, when you created the tool. And it is of type text. So you should mark required here and required there. We should add 2 optional parameters that I always like to add. The first one is called reduce latency. It is of type Boolean. And the second item, it's called wait for greeting. It is also of type Boolean. So now we're done with this data structure. So you just click on save. So you can see here that now we can fill all those inputs. So concerning the task, I started with the following. Your name is Alex and you're an employee at Miami Estates, a real estate company in Miami. And then of course feel free to read the rest of the prompt. The important thing is that here we want to include the name that we just have received. So here I wrote the lead's name you're talking to is, and then we select name. And then I kept writing and the email of this lead is, and then here you click on email. And then here I wrote the rest of the prompt where basically I'm instructing the agent to send an email if the lead wants to book a visit. Concerning the phone number, of course here you should select this phone parameter. And here concerning the tools, so you click on add item. And for the item, you will actually write the tool that you saved earlier. So if you saved it here, you just copy it and then you put it here. You also indicate yes for reduce latency and yes for wait for greeting. And then you click on OK. And finally, to make the actual call, via Blend AI API, we should use the HTTP module. So here you should just select make a request. Here the URL that we need is the Blend AI URL, to make a call. The method will always be post. For the headers, you should add here authorization, and here you should place your Blend AI API key. Concerning the body type, you will just select here raw, and then content type JSON. For the request content, we will just select the JSON that we just created, and then you click on OK. Now the next step is to come back to the first make.com scenario that you created, and the goal here is to trigger the webhook. And for us to trigger the webhook, we need to actually make calls, so that we will ask, the agent to send us an email. So now this time you should come back to this page and actually input the right phone and email. By the way, here before pressing that button, you should make sure that first this webhook is listening, so you should run it. You should also make sure that this webhook is running as well, so you should click it as well. And then of course this phone number should start with a plus, just to make sure that everything will work fine. And then you can click on that button. Hello.
Hello, this is Alex from Miami Estates. How are you doing today?
Doing great. How about you?
I'm doing great as well. I'm actually from the sales team, and we're required to call leads 1 to 3 minutes after they opt in our Facebook ad.
Okay.
Well, I just wanted to ask you if you would like to visit our property.
Yeah, sure. That would be great.
All right, great. Let me send you an email then.
Okay, thank you.
Great. I wish you a wonderful rest of the day.
You can see that this webhook has been triggered during the call, which is a very good sign. If we look at the data that has been sent, we can see that it's actually my email as well as my name. So now we are ready to send an email after this. So now the most complex step in this tutorial will be done, which is basically linking Gmail to your whole automation. The first step is to here search for Gmail and then you click on send an email. Now unfortunately it's not as simple, to link your Gmail as it is simple to link your Google Sheets or some other, Google based tools. So you should first click on this question mark and I will guide you to go through this step by step. So as you can see, this step is required for emails that end with @Gmail or @Google Mail. So the first thing within that window that says here you should log in to the Google Cloud Console. So you just click on this link. You will end up in this web page. Then you should click here and then click on New Project. You call it here whatever you want. I will call it Tutorial Gmail. Then you click on Create. Then after you create the project, you should make sure that that project is selected. To do that, you just click again here and you click on the project. So you can see here that now that project is selected and is active. The next step that we see here is to enable APIs for Gmail. So in order to do that, you just click on APIs and services. Then you click on enable APIs and services again. Then here you just search for Gmail. You should find those two. Just click on this one and then click on enable. Then we can see here that the next step is to configure your OAuth consent screen for Gmail. So you should click here on OAuth consent screen and user type you should select external and then you click on create. So here you can call the app whatever you want. Here you should write your Gmail account. You should go here to authorized domains and click on add domain. So the first one should be meg.com and the other one should be integromat.com. And here of course you should also write your Gmail account. And then you click on save and continue. Now here you should click on add or remove scopes. Then here just write mail and you should see mail.google.com. You click on it, you select it and then you click on update. You should see it appear here in your restricted scopes and then you click on save and continue. Here you should add a user which is yourself. So you click on add users and here you write your Gmail account again and then you click on add. You should see it here appear and then you click on save and continue. Now the last step is to create your Gmail client credentials. So you should click on credentials here and then you click here plus create credentials. And then you select OAuth client ID. For the application type, it should be web application. Here you name it whatever you want. For the authorized redirect URIs, you should copy this one. And then you click here, and then you paste it. And then you click create. So basically, this step will create for you a client ID and a client secret. Those two, you should keep them safe. And actually, those are the information required for Gmail to log in and for you to send emails via your Gmail account. So now if we go back to the meg.com scenario, you should click on add and then here you should select show advanced settings. So for the client ID, you should copy this one and for the client secret, you should copy this one. And then you click on sign in with Google. So now you should select the right Gmail account that you selected previously. And then you click on continue, continue again. You select this, you check it, and then you click on continue. Okay, so now you're signed. If there is no error message or anything, it means it's working. So for the recipient, we should click on add a recipient. And here for the email address, you just click on your email here. For the subject, I wrote book a meeting with Miami Estates. And then for the content of the email, I wrote hey and then the name. And then I wrote this text that you can see here. Actually, if you're wondering what are those characters about, basically this means jump a line in HTML. But of course you will see the result. So now let's click on OK. Now let's test the whole process. Okay, first thing you want to do is to run this one, wait for new data, and then run this one, and then call yourself. Hello.
Hello, this is Alex from Miami Estates. How are you doing today?
Doing great. How about you?
I'm doing great as well. I'm actually from the sales team, and we're required to call leads 1 to 3 minutes after they opt in our Facebook ad.
Okay.
Well, I just wanted to ask you if you would like to visit our property.
Yeah, sure. That would be great.
All right, great. Let me send you an email then.
Okay, great. Well, thank you very
Great.
much.
I wish you a wonderful rest of the day.
Thank you. Bye-bye. So you see that the mail has been sent. Let me check on my Gmail account whether I received something. You can see that yes, I received something with the subject book a meeting with Miami Estates. Let's click on it. Hey Smail AI, Alex here. I hope you're still doing great. And so on with the calendar link. And of course, if we click it, it's working. By the way, a small remark. I'm pretty sure you were thinking, hey, okay, he will help us, call the Facebook leads. But I don't see any Facebook campaign, and he didn't open Facebook anyway, so what's up with that? Well, the reason I didn't show you anything that is linked to Facebook is that I'm not running a Facebook campaign at the moment. However, I can show you how it could look like once you really want to link it to Facebook. Here in a real scenario, this webhook will not be there. Instead, there will be like a Facebook webhook. So you can find it here. You just type Facebook, and then you click on Facebook lead ads. And then here you should select watch leads, because here it says triggers when a new lead is created. So instead, this is how the scenario should look like. And here, of course, you should create a connection with Facebook. Well, that was it, guys, for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and you learned something. If you want more content like this, give it a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. As I told you before, my code is available in my resource page so that you can steal it too. And if you are a business owner and you want to build a custom solution like this one or any completely different solution, you can book a meeting to the calendar link in the description. Cheers, guys!